So, welcome to a new episode of Make More Money Now, the show that's all about you and how you can grow your business. And it's hosted by me, Patti Pokorchak, the small biz sales coach. But it's not about me today, it's all about Gerry Black, the marketing strategist and marketing copywriter. So, over to you, Gerry.
Patty, thanks a lot. Today we're going to talk about something that many marketers get wrong, and it costs them. They just leave a ton of money on the table because they might as well be talking to deaf ears. And essentially, they are talking to deaf ears because, as we all know, our client or prospect's favorite radio station is WIIFM. What's in it for me? And I don't care about you. So if you take a look and just go online and start looking at some websites, you'll see a lot of the messaging is focused on talking about the stuff the marketer has, the services, the product. And the reason that's a mistake, it might have flown 25 years ago, but the reason it's a big mistake today is because now your prospect has the internet, which they didn't have 25 years ago. So they've done all the homework. They have figured out, they know the thing that they need to solve the problem that they've got. But what they want is somebody to explain how their thing can help them. And so,
I was going to say, they usually have, by the time they call you or contact you, they have a short list of three.
yes.
So it's your sale to lose. And the premise of the Challenger Sale book, which is an amazing book, is that and again has been proven is the salesperson or the marketer, the entrepreneur that first tells you something new and is insightful, they're the one that get the business.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and that's a great point. And especially, and I mean, when you think about it, so much marketing today, it just looks like Me Too stuff. It's
yeah.
just a sea of beige. That's what I always think of it. And like, how are you going to stand out? Because you have to find a way to stand out. That's what's kind of at stake here. You have to figure out a way that gets the prospect saying, hey, this is the person I want to help me solve my problem.
Right.
So what we're going to do today, we're going to look at a before and after. And the before shot is very, very typical of what I see when I look at marketing, especially websites and home pages and landing pages. You're going to see something that hopefully it won't be too familiar. And that, now, Patty, I know you would never do this, but I mean, everybody out there in viewerland, hopefully this won't look too similar to the approach, but if it is the approach you're using, you're going to find out today how to quickly change it, and you should see quite a difference. So I'm going to share my screen and put up a document here that is going to help us.
Because when you see the difference, it is like so dramatic, right? Here's the after. Okay.
I'm going to just go right up to the top.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
here's the before.
yeah.
Parenting advice and
slide this down a bit. And first of all, I want to give credit to Jen DeVore. She's this is from her book, 45-Minute Breakthrough.
Okay.
And it's it's an example of I guess it was probably a client they had at one point who came to them and said, look, things aren't working out that great for me right now. I don't get a lot of leads, and I get visitors to the site, but nobody's converting. So let's take a look at this, and you'll see as you take a look at it, you'll see there's nothing wrong with the offering in terms of the content of what this fellow has. You can see that he specializes in a number of different areas, and that's the part of the problem.
I know, exactly. How can you, it's like when you see those restaurants where you specialize in Italian, Oriental, and Chinese or Canadian food. Well, pick one. You can't.
Exactly.
And this one just makes me want to yawn. I look at it and go, oh my God, that wasn't put on. That was like, oh my God, it's so boring,
Yeah. And you can see that he's coming at it from such a generalized approach that anybody who is looking for parenting and advice from resources, they've already done that. Like they've been doing that for a week or two in their research. So yeah, they are looking for parent advice, but they're looking for parenting advice, but they're looking more for someone to take them by the hand and explain how they can make a difference in their lives. And, he's got the video on there and the free consult and everything. You see this all the time. And basically, it leaves it to the prospect to figure out their way through this. And frankly, they won't. They will look at something like this and go, I've seen this, 15 times already.
Well,
And it,
it doesn't talk to me at all, right?
no,
It's got nothing about you. You, the word "you" is the most powerful in marketing. You have this issue, and I can help you. Like it doesn't say that at all, right? This is just kind of like, excuse me, it's just so boring. I'm sorry, it really
it
is.
is, it
Please,
is.
please go to
And
the after. Please go to the after before I go to sleep here. Okay.
yeah, and it's a common problem because what's happening here is he's trying to appeal to everyone, and that's a common problem marketers have. They don't want to
Huge.
miss out on anything. So what ends up happening is they miss out on everything
Yeah.
because they're just too watered down. And they don't, in this particular case, you wouldn't think he specializes in anything other than just putting a bunch of stuff on there and hoping you see something that might appeal to you.
It's got
And
9 specialties. Nine.
right, right.
Sure. I
And
mean,
this,
I always say is that if you sort of say I do this, people can assume that if you do this, you can also do the fringe stuff, right?
yes,
Well, like it's just like if it's close to what he's saying, I'm a specialist in this. They can, if I specialize in girl bullying by girls or bullying by boys, that vice versa will work. Like it's not a huge leap of faith
no,
there.
that's a great point, and that's what I coach my clients with too, is telling them it's not like you're going to lose out, but
Yes.
when you focus directly in on one problem that you solve, uh,
Hmm.
that makes a huge difference because then you can be a lot more precise and a lot more talk directly to your prospect, which is really what it's all about, and that's what they're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're looking for us, to help, help us solve, whatever problem they're having. Parenting advice and resources, that's basically like if you walked into a retail store and all the clothes were piled in the middle of the room, one on top of the other, and
Yeah.
they just said, hey, here's clothes, help yourself, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it sounds like a
Good luck.
ridiculous
Yeah.
analogy, but it's the same kind of thing.
Hmm.
And that's why you are who you are. It's your job to help me understand the difference you can make. All right.
Yeah.
So that's basically what he started with. So after Jen and her team got through with him, let's take a look
Hmm.
at the difference. Now you'll see he's still got his video, but look at the top of the page.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
this speaks to an issue that many marketers don't understand. It kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. They know the thing that they need, but here's the real issue: is when they go out on your website, it's not like they're gathering 15 friends and going, hey, let's go look at Patti's or Gerry's website on a Saturday night. It's a one-on-one thing. They're
Hmm.
trying to solve a problem. So that's the conversation that they bring to your website or to your landing page when they come up. They've got a problem they don't want, and they're looking for a result they don't have. Because if they had it, they wouldn't be there. So they're still searching, and they're very, very much a
Yeah.
prospect for you if you can get them to your site. But if you just do this information dump, it's not going to work. Now, let's take a look at the headline and the subhead. Are you sick and tired of the yelling, screaming, belligerent attitude of your child?
Yes.
So that is a specialty by itself because he hasn't mentioned the other things on there. He could have 8 or 9 other specialty landing pages, but for this one, he's stuck with one thing. And I think you mentioned it, Patti, offline, that they're going to buy one thing.
Hmm.
So present it in a way that makes it a compelling offer. And they've done that here. So you're sick and tired of the yelling, screaming, belligerent. So that's going to get the attention of anybody who has that issue with their child. So
Hmm.
that's the thing, that's the problem they have right now that they don't want. The result that they want, but they don't have, is Now you can discover the secrets to controlling your child and instantly restoring peace and quiet in your home. So that's the promise that's being made here. So you've
Right.
got result that you this is the result that you don't have, and that's the result that you want. So it makes all the difference because the whole framing of the presentation is such that it says, "Hey, if you've got this, we can give you this."
And the key word there, Gerry, is the use of you and your, right? It's making it very personal. And like, am I sick of my child? And it doesn't put a label on why the child is yelling and screaming and being belligerent. It could be for a multitude of reasons.
Absolutely.
And before he sort of had the symptoms or the sort of the causes of this behavior, but people, parents just want to get rid of the behavior. They don't care
Mhm.
what the label on the child is like,
Yeah.
how do we make this child become the lovable, obedient one that we want, and needs to live in society too, and what the other thing I love on this site is the picture of the mother and the son. It's
Mhm.
I mean, not I haven't had kids, but it's just like I can really put myself in that. Like if I had a kid that was belligerent,
Sure. Sure. So what they're doing here is they're really calling up all the emotions, but it's for a specific problem.
yeah.
And then you'll see they're offering you in the copy. He's got a little intro, which is important because you want to keep that because people get to see who the doctor is, and that creates a little bit of a relationship there. But then he's offering this free report. Learn the secrets to gaining and maintaining complete control of your child in less than 60 seconds. Well,
Wow.
if you had the problem, how
Hmm.
could you not give them your name and email in exchange for that?
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty small price to pay. And again, given that they've been to 5 or 10 other sites that have basically said, here, you figure it out,
Yeah, yeah. That's
right?
there's many great examples in this sort of remake or rework of the homepage. Is it talks to me, it gives me something of value, and as the seller, as I get an email with a potential prospect or a client. So it's a
Yes.
really real good win-win-win.
Yes, it does. It does work for everybody. So for anybody out there that, regardless of what your product and service is, sit down and figure out what problem do you solve, because that's the conversation that your prospect is going to be carrying around with them all day long. Just think about
Mhm.
it. Any problems we have, they stay with us, and we're always thinking about them. And when we find a potential solution, hey, we're going to be laser focused
Yeah,
on seeing if that's something that we can use.
yeah.
So take your own product or service, figure out what problem you solve, and then make a promise to the person reading it that you can help solve that problem. And you will have them paying close attention to your messaging.
Wow, that's great. Great message. And so it's I always say to my students and my clients is that nobody cares about you until you show you care about them and that you can help them. And then they go, okay, so have you done this before? And then the credibility checks in. But first it's all about me as the client, And I want to know that you can solve my problem, that you've done it before, and you really understand it. And this is I always call it like a horse with blinders on. It's very laser focused on the behavior that you're trying to change in this
Mhm.
case. And yeah, and once you get laser focused, and yeah, people with if they're bullying or they've got some other attitudes, like maybe he can do this too. You know,
Mhm.
people are smart enough to understand that if you deal with these kinds of issues, you can deal with my whatever special child, because we all have special children. We're all special, right?
Or we've been special children.
Eh, oh, we've been special. All right, we've been special, very, very,
We've been special.
very. Yeah, so special. But,
So the next time you sit down to maybe rework your web copy, the very first thing they see, don't waste their time telling them that, you grew up 42 years ago in a little ramshackle shack and blah, blah, blah. They don't care about that. Start right in on what it is they're there for. They're there to
Hmm.
solve a problem. And you know what that problem is because you deal with your prospects all the time. So you know what 80% of them want
Yeah,
your help with.
yeah,
Put that at the top, say, and then make them a promise that you can fix it.
yeah.
And all you want is a little bit of time, and you'll earn it by not wasting their time making them sort through all the other general information.
Yeah, that sounds great. And the other thing is you can test it, like you could use this as your headline in LinkedIn, so that,
Yeah,
yeah, you're a doctor, but this is what you're tired of. So you can test it. If that doesn't work, then try another approach. Try wording it in a different way. You can test it out, and just to keep things fresh too. You just never know what's going to appeal to people, but I don't
no,
think.
that's right. And on the the main thing to think about, Patty, and for everybody out there in marketing land, you really have to put the reader's needs first.
Yeah.
And you know this obviously, Patty, with your work and selling. Um, they don't care about anything else. So you wouldn't want to have your time wasted by. It'd be like going to buy a car. And having someone start at the very beginning. Well, these are four tires, and here's a steering wheel, and it has a gas tank. I mean, come on, like don't do that because you'll just turn somebody off. They don't need that.
Yeah, or you've got a lineup of 10 different vehicles and you start at the compact and you go to the big SUV and I go, no, no, I want this one. I don't, no, no, I want this one, No, no, don't bore me with details. I'm certainly not a bored, but yeah, it's talk the client's language and show that you can solve their problem and then just laser focus on that.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
and
that's the secret.
yeah, and it's also you don't waste your time, right? So don't tell me about 10 things when I'm only interested in one. So just figure out what one I'm interested in and then speak to that. So
Yeah,
great point, Jerry. Yeah.
absolutely.
Great.
Okay, that's it. We'll see. We'll be back next week.
All right. Bye. See ya.
Thanks, Patty.
Bye. Oops.